My brother called me a beta male at Thanksgiving. I exposed him as a fraud by dessert. My older brother Jeff has been bringing a different gorgeous woman to every family event for the past 3 years. He shows up, introduces his new girlfriend, and spends the entire time talking about his dating success. At Thanksgiving, he walked in with a stunning woman named Vanessa and immediately started his routine. He looked at me sitting alone and said loudly, "Still single, little bro? Don't worry, not everyone can be an alpha like me. Some guys just don't have the game." My uncle laughed and said Jeff should teach me his secrets. Jeff said, "I could try, but you either have it or you don't. Look at her and look at him. That tells you everything." Jeff spent the first hour giving everyone his alpha male speech. He said, "You have to be dominant. You have to show her you're the prize, not her." My dad kept saying Jeff was so impressive. Vanessa tried to join the conversation and Jeff cut her off. "Baby, the adults are talking." She looked stunned but stayed quiet. 20 minutes later, Vanessa mentioned she read an interesting article and Jeff said, "Nobody cares what you read. You're here to look pretty." My mom laughed like it was a joke. Jeff grabbed Vanessa's arm when she reached for bread and said, "You sure you need carbs? I'm just helping you stay hot for me." During dinner, Jeff told a story about approaching women and said, "The trick is to neg them. Make them insecure so they try harder to impress you." He looked at Vanessa. "Like I told this one her dress was trying too hard. Made her way more agreeable." Vanessa's jaw was tight. I went to the kitchen to help with dishes, and Vanessa came in looking furious. I said, "You okay?" She said, "Your brother is the worst client I've ever had." I stopped washing plates. She said, "I'm an escort. He hired me for 4 hours at $300 an hour. He's been degrading me all night in front of your family, and I'm contractually supposed to smile through it." I said, "All his girlfriends were escorts?" She said, "Same agency. Different girls every time. We all compare notes. He treats every single one of us like garbage, and then acts like he's God's gift to women." She looked at me. "He's been talking about you like you're worthless all night. Meanwhile, he literally can't get a woman to spend time with him without paying her." We went back to the dining room for dessert. Jeff was talking about dating strategy. He said, "Most guys fail because they're too emotional. You have to stay detached." My aunt asked how he met Vanessa. Jeff said, "I approached her at a coffee shop. She couldn't resist my confidence." He squeezed her thigh under the table hard enough that she winced. Vanessa looked at me and I nodded. I said, "Jeff, can I ask you something? How much does Vanessa charge per hour?" The entire table went silent. Jeff's face turned bright red. He said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "She's an escort. You're paying her to be here, just like you paid all the other women." Vanessa raised her wine glass and said, "$300 an hour. Same rate as the last 6 girls he hired from our agency." My mom gasped. Jeff stood up and said, "She's lying. She's trying to ruin my reputation because she's a whore." Vanessa pulled out her phone and showed the table the booking confirmation. She said, "You booked me for 4 hours. The notes say to act like your girlfriend and tolerate verbal abuse." That last part wasn't in the original booking, but I should have charged extra. My dad said, "You've been paying women to pretend to like you?" Jeff said, "I just wanted to bring someone impressive to family events." My uncle said, "But you spent 3 years lecturing everyone about your dating skills." Jeff's voice got higher. He said, "I have dating skills. I just don't have time to actually date." Vanessa said, "You cried in my car on the drive here because you said no woman has ever loved you." Jeff screamed, "Shut up!" He pointed at me. "This is your fault. You're jealous because you're a pathetic beta and I'm an alpha." I said, "You paid someone $300 an hour to sit through Thanksgiving while you insulted her. That's the most beta thing I've ever heard." Jeff tried to flip the table, but it was too heavy, so he just knocked over his chair. He said, "Fine, I'm leaving and taking my girlfriend with me." Vanessa said, "Your 4 hours ended 10 minutes ago. You want me to leave with you? That's another 300 plus hazard pay for whatever breakdown you're about to have in the car." Jeff looked at her with tears in his eyes and said, "I thought we had a connection." She said, "Baby, you spent the whole drive here explaining why women are biologically programmed to submit to alphas. The only connection I felt was my brain cells dying." Jeff ran out crying and slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. Jeff stopped coming to family events and nobody asks about him anymore. Vanessa and I became actual friends, and she says I restored her faith that not all men are terrible.